Yes, it is surprising that a restaurant that is 11 years old would be on our best new restaurant list. But St. Jack in Northwest Portland is suddenly a must-go, must-know situation behind an impressive collection of dishes from new chef John Denison.
When he came here, it was exactly what this restaurant needed. From day one, sort of a fearlessness in terms of what he does and the style of cooking that he does.
I never wanted to go into French food. I always thought it was kind of a stuffy thing. My name is John Denison. I'm the chef at restaurant St. Jack. I really wanted to get into butchery and sustainable side of cooking. And that kind of naturally took me to France, working on this farm. And then next thing I knew, I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I just kind of fell in love, and I spent the next 2 years trying to figure out how to stay there for as long as possible. I was the chef at restaurant Ellsworth in Paris for a while. It is a neo-bistro with classic French technique and classic French ingredients, while using as many vegetables and a lighter approach to things as we can.
This is not pretentious food. This is not food that's like overly studied and plated, but really this is, I imagine, in the style of how he was cooking in Paris, in that it's somewhere between casual and serious.
Me and my girlfriend at the time were planning on coming back eventually, and then COVID happened. So we kind of packed up and left overnight. I think that me and Aaron both over the years have always shared a really deep love for classic French thing. I called him on my way back and told him that I was coming to Portland and was looking for a job.
Next one, 16, double Tivier.
He came in and he had a lot of ideas. So when we opened St. Jack in 2010, the idea was to open sort of French food that was kind of for everybody. I was focusing on Lyonnaise bouchon cooking, which was very rustic, very hearty. And then over the years, of course, things evolved with St. Jack.
St. Jack is a really storied restaurant in town, and I think it's nerve-wracking to change classics and the status quo of things.
He also brings in dishes that I would never have imagined would sell. And so he does these things, and they come out incredible. And some of them are deceptively simple.
One of the best dishes I had this year, haricots verts, which is kind of green bean, which he served in, it seemed like almost kind of like a nest or a wreath. Right in the middle was a pool of Brie Sovereign cheese, a very rich triple creme cheese, thin with a little bit of cream.
He has a couple of things that I've noticed just with how he cooks, and there's like a definitive like cheese mousse vegetable thing, and then tangy thing, sweet thing, crunchy thing. That's like a little move he's got, and it's fantastic. And it works every time. They look like there's 4 things on a plate, but in reality, each one of those things takes a long time to prepare, a lot of effort put into making these 3-4 things really, really good.
It's not that like really studied ego on a plate, I'm here to impress you, but it is, I want to send out something that looks really beautiful, but is also paid attention to color, temperature, and to texture. To me, these are things that elevate a restaurant.